I started my contrarian career in 1993 when I left a firm called Jones Lang Wooten, and the real estate market there were a lot of dead bodies out there, and people thought I was crazy to go and start a business in 1993. And one of the things I learned was that it is very, very hard to be a contrarian when you have no money. It took a couple of years to get started. But ultimately, I found money that was ready to invest in the real estate market, and we made a couple of investments. I think probably one of the most noteworthy, there were a couple, but 1500 Broadway we bought in 1995 when people thought we were crazy to be investing in Times Square. When we bought the Sylvan Lawrence portfolio, a number of people thought we were crazy to be buying a big building with 200,000 or 160,000 square foot floor plates. But I think being a contrarian comes out of seeing opportunity. So without the opportunity to buy the property, it's hard to be a contrarian. We didn't go and say, well, gee whiz, maybe we should be looking in Chelsea because tenants are looking for big floor plates. What happened was an opportunity came our way, and we had to justify why we would be buying a building with 200,000 square foot floor plates. But what we did is we did an analysis, and we looked on a macro basis about what was going on in the market, and then on a micro basis. And what we came to the conclusion that there were a lot of firms in the media and publishing business that were in various buildings and were looking to consolidate. And the first deal we did was with Deutsche Advertising, who was in 5 or 6 different buildings, and they consolidated onto one floor. We did the same thing with CCH, a legal publishing firm. They were in a number of buildings, and they consolidated onto one floor. So the thesis was proven to be accurate. I guess the deal that was most noteworthy was in 2005 when Prudential Securities, their lease expired. They did their printing on the 5th floor of 111 8th Avenue. Their lease expired, and this emerging company called Google was looking for space. And this was perfect for them. It was the kind of, it fit their culture. It was the kind of space that they were looking for, and they couldn't find it in Midtown Manhattan. So they moved into the building, and that kind of began the transformation, not only of 111 8th Avenue, but it kind of set a tone for the emerging TAMI tenants in the types of space that they were looking for. Google moved into this kind of building, and a lot of the other types of firms followed suit. So in short, it's a matter of looking at opportunities that come our way and figuring out how to make them work when other people may not have seen that type of strategy. What are we looking for? We're looking for, if you go around the city today, and we've been doing that a lot lately, and you go out to parts of Brooklyn and the Bronx and Queens, it is amazing how those neighborhoods are changing. So because we were able to diversify our business, we now are looking for residential opportunities in those changing neighborhoods. And we recently put together a fund with the Clarion partners to invest in what we call workforce housing. We have this new company called Quality Communities, and we had bought a 1,400-unit apartment complex in the northeast part of the Bronx 10 years ago. It was a great idea at the time, except for the fact that we had a little recession. But now our net income has doubled from 2007 because it was the right idea at the wrong time, but it has become the right time. And we're seeing those sorts of opportunities around the boroughs. The other thing that we're doing is we're looking for, and in fact have bought, development sites in neighborhoods that are well served by public transportation at very low cost. Like Mickey was buying real estate land at $100 a foot. We're now buying land in similar pricing in neighborhoods that are well served by public transportation that need some rezoning possibly, but can be built as of right also, but the rezoning will enhance the development potential. Where the rents are $45 and $50 a foot in the market, where people that are being priced out of other parts of the city but yet want to be in good locations well served by public transportation would go to live. So those are the kinds of things we're doing. As far as office, the whole dynamic of the city has changed. Steve was buying real estate in the Nomad area and Chelsea area when no one else was, and now rents are $60, $70 a foot, maybe even more, when they were $20 a foot or $15 a foot when he was buying those properties. The dynamic has shifted. The dynamic has shifted to different parts of the city and to different types of real estate. Who would have thought that Park Avenue and 6th Avenue would have the vacancies that it has? Why? Because people are moving close to New Jersey. They're going over to Hudson Yards. Who would have thought that something on the Hudson River that's not well served by public transportation, but for the 7 train, that they would attract KKR, BlackRock, and other types of firms like that. Why? Because it's brand new state-of-the-art space. So that's what we're doing at Essex Crossing with Ron, is we're creating brand new space at an affordable rate. So we're trying to pick and choose the types of things that we do to conform to what's going on in the various submarkets of the city.